Hello everyone, welcome back to OpenLine. We are talking about the Nashville Voices campaign at the Nashville Public Library. Basically, they are collecting the stories of women in our area, a woman who meant something important in your life. They just want to collect these stories. And Andrea Fanta is here with the Nashville Public Library. You kind of explain the whole campaign, why you're doing it, what you're going to do with this. It started in August 18th. It's going through September 30th. Mm-hmm. How many have you gotten, would you say, so far?
Close to 100. Okay. And I came ready. I did my homework. So if you'll allow me, I'm going to share some of these.
Well, I love that. Okay. Yes, please. What have people said so far?
So Kate from the Richland Park area wanted to tell us about Susie, her strong, intelligent friend who is enduring Parkinson's disease with grace and selflessness. Katie, out of our...
Now that's beautiful. And does she go into more detail, or yep. is that really sometimes all that it is?
Some people give us 3 words, some people give us 300. What Kate wanted us to know about Susie is that she is dealing with Parkinson's and that she's doing an amazing job, and that she is a lover of words.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Dorcas, out of our Donaldson branch, wanted to tell us about her son's physician, Dr. Kelly, who performed a life-saving procedure on his son when he was diagnosed with spina bifida.
Wow.
So Katie writes to us, she was the absolute cornerstone of my recovery and successful birth. If it wasn't for her, my son wouldn't be anywhere near where he is in his progress. For 3 months, she was my biggest cheerleader and advocate. She counseled me and she encouraged me.
Wow.
Yep.
Do you ask for pictures with these?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
So when they're displayed, there's a chance there might be a picture there. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, we're thinking right now about how to take this from like an online community to an in-person. I think the dream is going to come true when we're standing somewhere in the library and as many of these people who have shared their stories and as many of these women about whom the stories are together. And it's going to give me chills when they start off in this space and they don't know one another, and then all of a sudden they've got this feeling like they're somehow connected. I think that's going to be incredible. And then, of course, we're going to ask them to go upstairs and go to the Votes for Women space because I do have a job to do. But again, I don't mean to sound too cliche, but I don't know how many people get to have this job in the city. Like, I essentially get paid to invite people to tell me about who's special to them. And, you know, you talked earlier about listening. I think every great conversation starts with listening. And so this is really kind of our love language of saying, we're here and we've created this space for you, and we just really want to know about the people who make your heart sing.
And the people who make this city. I mean, this is a real kind of look at what's happening in our city. It's great to talk to people on the Metro Council, and they do important things, but it's also great to hear about the woman who is dealing with Parkinson's in a graceful and powerful way, and that is very meaningful. And so that's why I'm glad somebody is listening and somebody is cataloging this, and that's the whole essence of what this is.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned council. So Votes for Women was a long time in the making, right? So we started about 3 years ramping up to the 2020 opening. We knew we had to open in 2020 on August 18. But if it takes 9 months to kind of have a pregnancy and birth a child, I would describe the ramp up to Votes for Women as 3 pregnancies and 3 deliveries. And so we started with the Women's Caucus of Metro Council, because at the time it was a record 50% female. And so we invited the Women's Caucus to come in and get a preview of the space, and we were delighted at their delight. They fell in love with the exhibit and its potential. We have a timeline in the Votes for Women exhibit that kind of takes you through pioneers and our Women's Caucus is on there. So they were a big support to us as we were ramping up. I have one more I want to share with you. I think this one might be my favorite. So Shanita from the Madison community wanted us to know that Sharon is loving, caring, and nurturing. She has a soul that everyone loves about her. She is an on-earth angel. She loves to make sure everyone is okay, and if they need anything, she tries to help.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That is awesome. And are you getting a sense of where people are hearing that this opportunity is out there? Like, how, that's a diverse group that you've just kind of read from. How did they all know about this?
Yeah, we've done a good job at the library of, we've got 21 locations, so we have a reach into every neighborhood. And when you have everyday relationships with people coming in and out of your buildings, and you're an agency that people trust, the rest kind of follows organically. So we do all the predictable things that you'd expect, social media, web, blah, blah, blah. But I think what makes us different is people come to the library and they come back and they come back and they come back and they become regulars. And I think that's a reach and a touch that we're really lucky to have.
Let's go to Ariel, who is on the line. Hello, Ariel.
Hi.
Hi, go right ahead.
I just wanted to say, just like passing through on the channel, I first came here from New Orleans like 6 years ago, and then I started working in Green Hill. One of my mentors named Wendy Williams, actually, and my first day here, I cried, so I thought I made the wrong decision, and she's been through everything. I was in the Second Avenue bomb. She was there right when I got out. See my puppy live.
Oh no, we're kind of losing you. Say that again now. You moved here from New Orleans, and you have a mentor.
Yeah.
You had someone that was helping you. You were worried you made the wrong decision. Who was it that was helping you?
It was we just worked at the.
At the mall? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe I made the wrong decision. Yeah.
Okay, at the mall.
And we've been so close. I'm close with a daughter, and I actually moved back to Slidell, Louisiana. Came back 3 years later and ran into her at Kroger, and we had dinner, and she's been in my life ever since. And I literally just texted her because her dad just died, and I said, you know what? We've been through so much together, and it's just like, for somebody not to know somebody, like when I needed a mattress, she didn't even know us, and she let us borrow her car just to get a mattress in our apartment at Hermitage. And when the Second Avenue bomb hit, she was the first one to call me and be like, you know what, I got you. And it just hurts me just to know, she taught me how to have a heart and not judge people, because there's so much judgmental stuff going on right now. And this is a promising story that she's got going on, because women need that in their lives. Girlfriends, you need to get together, don't hate on each other, and just, you never know what's going on in someone's life. So it's a cool thing.
Thank you for sharing that. What was her name?
Wendy Williams, actually. Funny enough, Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams. Well, Ariel, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
All right, girl. Keep doing what you're doing. That's awesome.
Ariel, promise me you'll go to the website and write to us about Wendy. Otherwise, I don't know how else I'm going to track her down, but I'm going to do everything I can. So please make my job easy and go to the website and share what you just shared with us. That's incredible.
Because it would probably be easier to share it with you guys than to share it on TV. So yeah, if you can share it on TV, you can really share it there. And what did you think? So that what a great story. Is that, I'm sure every story is different, but that's kind of what you're hoping to hear, right?
Yeah, I think sisterhood is definitely a theme that's emerging. We all have those friends who, if you call them and you don't have a lot of details, they don't know what they're doing or where they're headed, but I call them ride or die. They are in the car and they're headed to you, no questions. I think there's a real vulnerability to be able to talk about that. Obviously, you could hear how emotional Ariel was. And so I don't want to overstate what our campaign is. Obviously, we're not mental health professionals. But Lord, if we can give someone a little space, to tear up a little bit and just get some of that energy out. That is incredible work.
And honor people that honor Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, Wendy Williams probably doesn't know the difference she made in Ariel's life. I hope she does, but maybe she doesn't.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for Wendy. I'm going to do all I can to track her down. And we have some amazing librarians who are scarily good at research, so I might actually be able to find Wendy.
Oh, well, good. Well, Ariel, make it easy and call in. All right, so, I love that story. I'm gonna ask you to read more, but would you say you're getting a lot of stories from people that are fairly new to Nashville, or people that have been here a long time, or both, or what would you say as far as that's concerned?
It's both, actually. So Aaron from the Green Hills area wants us to know about Sandra, who has been working on civil rights and humanitarian issues at age 84. She's now 84. Fearless to get her hands dirty, to step in the shoes of others, or to speak her mind in the face of discrimination. She served those in greatest need in local Nashville. So someone who's been around for a while. Sounds like she's still very fierce. Yeah, just incredible stuff. I sound like a moron that I'm stumbling over myself, but I mean, I would go to Sandra's house and listen to her.
And again, why do you think why specifically women? Why is it important to lift up the women's right to vote and all that? But what do you think the power is here in lifting up the voices of women?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. I mean, you know, I think we did the right thing by making it clear that what we're looking for women of all experiences. I think we would have gotten this campaign wrong and done a disservice to Nashville had we not taken that really intentional step. That said, I know that this sounds really cliche, but if you're a guy, chances are there's a great woman in your life, right? Somewhere along the line, we all have a woman to thank. And the reason we wanted to zoom in on women of all experiences is because it's our job to make sure that people in Nashville can see themselves in the library. So our job is to make sure that when we talk about this very fancy, very expensive permanent exhibit downtown in the middle of Nashville, you know, we needed to connect the dots for a way that regular, everyday women like me could see ourselves in that space. You know, I don't look like the woman who fought for ratification 100 years ago. I do look like a Nashville woman of today, and so we're really looking to kind of bridge that gap.
Are you aware of other cities that are doing anything like this?
Well, no, because I mean, obviously this campaign is so genius. It, you know, sprang forth from our foreheads, fully grown. Nashville Public Library is the only place that houses this kind of space. We call it a learning laboratory. You can go in and, you know, you can bring a classroom of kids together, and let's say there's this counter that you sit at, there's voting buttons on each seat, and so let's say the girls in the class get to vote, but the boys are not. Well, all of a sudden you start seeing the math light up digitally, and you know, things start to connect for people about what happens when some people or half people or all people are left out and don't have a seat at the table. We knew at the library, we knew we wanted this space. So when the founding donors had this vision and started their work, for us, the only space that made sense in Nashville was the library. Our first library director, Mary Hannah Johnson, was a suffragist. She worked just blocks away from the state legislature where the 19th was ratified. You know, we've been a space for the community for a long time, back when we had books to check out in grocery stores. It's been a while. When people were wearing bell-bottoms, we were here. When people were wearing poodle skirts, we were here.
You've evolved and you've survived.
Right, yeah.
And you are still incredibly relevant. I think we have another caller. Is that right? Donna. Okay, let's go back to the phones here. Donna? Donna, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, yeah.
So, yeah, I've got a story. I'm that Green Hills girl that lived, you know, I lived in that area for about 43 years and looked like I had the perfect life. You know, I married someone with money. We had the big house on one of the best streets. And yet I was living a double life. We were high profile in our small circle, religious community. And it looked like I was perfect. We had the perfect life. But behind closed doors, there was abuse, physical, emotional, everything. And I kept silent for a long, long time. And, you know, I was so scared to speak out. I thought nobody will believe me because the person I was with looked so amazing and so wonderful. And finally, I was afraid to call on my phone, so I went to my church and I went in the fellowship hall and I turned out, the lights were out, and I went to their phone on the wall and I called the YWCA, and a person answered and she listened. She understood exactly what I was saying and gave me such amazing advice at that time, and it was exactly what I needed to hear. And then another thing that happened, I'll say this quickly because I know you have other people, but I had shared my troubles with a friend of mine, and she was at a Bible study, and she told this person, you know, about me. And that person felt such compassion and was so moved that they paid for me to go to counseling. And that counseling saved my life, and that person that did that for me was Amy Grant. And I just want to say to you out there, no matter who you are, no matter how bad it is, don't lose hope. I am healed, I'm whole, I'm happy, and I've got my story to share. And I love you. Just remember, you are beautiful, you are loved. Don't lose hope.
Well, Donna, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much, Donna.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'll put it in writing.
Yeah, so I know they're going to want you to do that. All right, how can Donna do that again? Or anyone do it, but yeah.
So, Donna, you sound like a rock star. Please go to library.nashville.org.
Well,
oh, wait, she can't hear you. Oh, can you?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, you can? Okay, go ahead.
I turned my TV off.
Okay, good.
I'm also a singer. I haven't released any of my songs, but the title of my album is Rescue Me. And initially I called myself Blue Monarch because the monarch butterfly every year goes on its long, long journey and survives against all odds. And yet it remains beautiful and brilliant. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Well, promise me you'll go to the library's website, library.nashville.org, and tell us your story that started with a call for help in the darkness, and sounds like you've ended in the light. We really appreciate it.
Yes, I'm in the light, thank God.
Donna,
thank you so much for what you're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wow. I mean, isn't that great? I mean, my goodness, what a powerful story.
Yeah.
And see, all you got to do is just be quiet and listen.
Yeah.
You just got to ask people, and thank you, Donna, and thank you, Ariel, both of you, for sharing that. Okay, we have to go to break. But then if you want to share other stories, that was so powerful. We'll talk more about all of this. There's the number, 737+. We'll be back right after this.